You're a very active angel and seed investor outside of your day job, as well as an advisor to several companies, probably ones that you've invested in and others as well. So we want to talk about that part of your life. And let's start with, what's your personal philosophy in seed and angel investing? And what are your expectations of doing that type of investing?
Oh, that's such a good question. So I think everyone who likes thinking about startups should, if they have capital, they should angel invest. I think my understanding of angel investing before I started was that everyone had to be like a Chris Sacca angel investor and like, 100K checks. Yeah. That's what I thought an angel investor was. Yeah. It turns out most angel investors, well, the angel investors I play in the playground with, we're doing anything from 5 to 20K, sometimes more checks. Yeah. And I think that knowing that earlier would have made me want to invest in more companies. And there's a few companies that I was really excited about. And I was like, you're doing something so cool. And I just didn't even know that that was a possibility. And I probably would have done quite well. So
what'd you miss out on?
Oh my God. One of them that I missed out on was Hugging Face.
Oh,
I met their team. They're so sweet. I met their team like in 2017 or 18 or something like that. And they wanted to talk to me about building an open source community. And then they had questions about pricing. I introduced them to Matt AC. He could talk to them about open source pricing because he's been in open source forever. And then I started seeing them everywhere. Yeah. And then when I started angel investing, I was like, well, that was, if I had this mindset now, I would have said, this is a great idea. Let's invest in it. And now it's like the platform for, models. Yeah, so right. Good for them. They did a great job.
I mean, since ChatGPT came out, they've been getting tons of press, obviously. And,
yeah.
So you didn't get to wet your beak in Hugging Face.
Yeah, and Raza's another one. They're like AI chatbots as well, and I think they're doing really well now. They're a German company, awesome CEO. But I think everyone who's interested should try to do it. I think my philosophy around it is I don't expect to get any of the money back. All of the money is gone, and that frees me up a lot to just treat it as a way to learn about a space that I'm interested in, flex my muscles in different areas, and also just use my leadership skills to help companies be successful. And it's also like relationship building. Some of these CEOs I would love to maybe, get to know and then maybe work with in some capacity. So that is a good open door. One of the things that I don't think people realize is you can do angel investing through a venture firm by being a venture scout. And so if you know a partner at a firm that you like and you like their philosophy and you like their focus areas, you could ask them, hey, do you have a scout program? I would love to scout for you. And the scout program was something that was developed at Sequoia a couple of years ago. Sequoia said, our founders are great. What if we gave our founders $250,000 each to invest in their friends' companies? And that became a huge top of funnel for Sequoia because their founders were awesome. They knew awesome people building great companies. And so it became a great vehicle for driving more investments to them, to the right partners. And so now a lot of different firms have adopted this. One way to make angel investments, if you don't want to give up the capital, is to do it through a fund. And I think there's a lot of people, especially women, who have really specialized skill sets. Like for me, for example, developer tools and marketing. Like every founder of a developer tools company wants to know the things that I know. And to be fair, I've lived it, so I can tell you what my experience is. There's other people who can do that too. But that gives me a really nice open door into any cap table. Yeah. So of companies that specialize in that. So people have, like, you have specialized experience. If you are excited about this idea, like you should do it.
Is the scout a paid position, or is it like
no,
an internship,
you just get,
or is it just like
no, you just get
a referral fee?
So you just get to mobilize their capital. That's it.
Do you get a piece, but then do you get a piece of equity yourself?
Different firms have different financial structures around that. So I can't speak for everyone, but I work with Spark Capital, and yeah, there is some sort of a return if the company does have some sort of an exit. The one thing about doing scout deals is that, let's say you're at a firm that says, we don't sell until, like, we have a firm policy around not selling until X time frame, then you cannot dictate the terms of your returns. Whereas if you own your portfolio, you can decide at Series B, like, I want out, which actually is probably the stance most people should take. Like, I think even Mark Cuban, he got out of Box, which was one of his like early angel investments. He got out of box pretty early, and people always say like, oh, Mark would have made so much money. And I'm like, no, that's what angel investors do. You mobilize capital early and you get out early so that you can make more investments. It's not a like, I want to get rich. It's like, if you're doing it as a form of investment, you're taking the funds and moving it into other places to diversify your risk. And also the odds that like all of your companies that you invest in as an angel, if you invest in seed, are going to reach Series B, like, what do you think this is, 2020? This is not happening.
So when you're doing that, like, do you negotiate the terms to say, look, I'm going to give you seed money now, and then I want out at Series B, or I want out at Series A?
I don't do that. Your ability to negotiate as an angel investor is probably directly related to the amount of capital and clout that you have. So I'm not like a Chris Sacca or, one of those storied angel investors. So I can't command that kind of.
You can't just say,
I
here's
can't command those
$5,000,
kinds of terms. Yeah.
give me a board seat.
Yeah, no, not at all. So it depends on when you're investing, but sometimes it's, someone, you say, oh, I'd love to be at her cap table. It's pretty informal. In some cases, I am introduced to the founders by a VC firm. So for example, like I know a few partners at firms and I know a few associates at firms. And so they sometimes bring me into deals and they say, oh, this is a company that you'd be interested in. And I meet the founders and then they already have a term sheet. And so I get introduced as part of the process of them filling out the cap table as part of the deal. In those cases, like the terms are already set. And I think different companies have different terms on like when they allow their investors to sell the shares back to the company during different rounds. And so it would be at the discretion of the company that you would do that.